Hello, hello, hello. Thank you everyone for joining us. My name is Rick from Rick's Two Cents, hosting with my co-host Steve from Steve Makes Everything and Roger from Roger Shop. Well, I just want to clear the air really quick. So there was some confusion, and I think the more and more we do these, people start understanding that we are each individually live on each other's channel. So you may be familiar with I or Steve or Roger. We are doing this collectively, collaboratively. So we appreciate however you've decided to join us, and thank you for doing so. And if you are to comment on any of our channels, we can share them and they will pop up on the bottom below, and we will address them. But if you go to each one of our channels and you were to comment on one of our channels, you won't see the comments on all of our channels. However, if you do watch it from any one of our channels, as far as watch time, we all do get credit. So thank you and appreciate them. Steve, you want to say hello to everyone?
Hello, everyone.
From
I've been talking to a couple of people online here.
Good evening from Wichita, Kansas. Yeah, so
yeah, these are some of the messages just coming in now.
Yep. So, Roger, Roger, do you want to say hello to everyone really quick here?
I'm sorry, what was that?
You want to say hello to everyone?
Oh. Yeah, hello from northern Illinois where it's unseasonably warm. So 50 degrees, I can deal with that.
So hold on, it says I tried to get in, but it isn't working. Let me just reply to our group email, and if you click on that link, it'll let you in. Hold on. Let me reply real quick to our email. Sorry, guys.
Last week when we talked, I had no snow. This week we're supposed to get 2.5 feet over the weekend.
Man.
Well, the 2 feet we got here about 3 weeks ago, it's just about gone now. We've had this unseasonably warm weather.
Yeah, lake effect.
Yep. Come on.
Yeah, it's a lot of snow. It's unusual, actually.
Sorry, guys. Well, I just jumped in my email. I closed out everything because I didn't want anything running in the background while just to possibly make it lag on the video. So I got to open and reply here to Dale so you can jump in.
I guess people could start asking questions if they have any questions. Everybody's from warmer places than I am right now. Well, it's about freezing here right now. It's not too cold, but it's enough. It's cold enough that there's a big storm rolling in off the Atlantic, and it's going to bury us.
All right, I just sent them. Daniel, I just sent you an email. You should be able to get in. Let me know if you're having any issues. Hopefully, we'll just see you talk here in a second.
45.
Gerald from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Thank you for joining us. Greg joined us from Pennsylvania. I just want everyone to kind of know that we do have some formalities. We're a couple items we want to touch base on. For the most part, this live is questions and answers, so feel free to ask anything that you have for us, woodworking-wise, laser engraving-wise. You know, get familiar with the channels. So, anything that you see us talking about that you have questions on, now's the time.
So I love these kind of questions. So I think the question, which will appear there in the feed soon, is the X-Tool F1 worth it? There it is. That's a tough question to answer. I don't know. Yes, no.
I can't help with that one. I don't have that model. I've got 2 D1s and I've got the S1.
So the challenge with the F1 is the footprint is really small and it's more or less geared towards what you would normally use a fiber laser for, but it's got a diode laser built into it. So you're not going to cut big boxes or anything, you're going to cut keychains and coasters and those kinds of things. And certainly any metal because it's got an IR laser. So is it worth it? I guess. If you're doing craft fairs, it becomes worth it because it's very portable.
Yeah. Like CDJ Woodworking from Illinois. Hey, how's it going, CDJ? Thank you for joining us. North Carolina's in the building. Mark Patterson.
California.
Montgomery, Alabama. Every time I hear that, I hear Forrest Gump. Alabama. Right? Don't take that in a negative way. I actually love it. I need to build a small table for a job site. I saw today. Any ideas?
Well, I built one, but I went 10 ton on it. And when I say 10 ton, I mean it's like just giant overkill. And I pity the person that ever has to move it. I did put it on wheels, but I'll bet it's pushing 800 pounds.
I guess the real question is, what kind of saw are you talking about? Are you talking about a, table saw, a chop saw? What kind of saw are you talking? You cut tile, because you can just go get some A-frames, don't weld anything, and just spend the money and flap them up and put a 2x across it. You're good to go. Right? The answer is depends. Someone's chiming in on the X-Tool comment, so yeah, it depends. Not the kind you wear, it just depends on what you want to buy. Let's see. New York's in the building. Hey, so I got a question for everyone, and collectively I would appreciate if maybe we give some insight to people. I have been receiving some emails, some questions, so I thought I'd throw it out to the group. One of the major questions I have is, what is your platform of choice as far as selling anything that you sell? And what has been your success story as far as marketing yourself and items that you sell? I don't know who wants to go first. It doesn't make a difference, but a lot of questions on that.
Well, my number one is our website, and then number 2 is Etsy, and number 3 is Amazon. And eBay used to be a good outlet, but now it's not so much.
Yeah, eBay to me was kind of, I don't know. I haven't used that in years, right? Is that still a big thing?
Oh, yeah, it's still there. Oh, heck yeah. What do I have that rolls on carts around the shop? Pretty much everything, as I am cramped in such a small area. My planer's on a cart, my bandsaw's on a cart, my sanders are on carts, my dust collector's on carts, everything.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Me too. Yeah, me too. I built a little small table for my table saw and put on rollers next to a full-size table. It's a full sheet of plywood. If I can cut a full sheet by myself. Happy Groundhog's Day. Anybody else want to chime in on their selling passions here?
Well,
I just started locally and then went to Etsy.
You're all Etsy, Daniel?
All Etsy.
Yeah, I use, because I don't do volume things, so I use Etsy, but it's mostly just for designs rather than real practical things. Surprisingly, I sell a lot of acrylic letters on Etsy for some reason. I don't know why, but usually it's mostly my website.
OnlyFans.
They found your OnlyFans, so you might be busted.
I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here.
He's like, how did they recognize my feet? I'll be honest. On Etsy, I tried selling garments, and I did sell some, but I wasn't selling enough, and the fees are so high. I just thought like it wasn't worth it. And everyone wants me to sell gang sheets. I'm just like, nah. I think the woodworking might do a little better because you can be a little more nichey, a little more customized. But I think that in the garment industry, if you don't spend a ton of money on ads, it's just so flooded right now. I think everyone's buying these DTF printers that it's just kind of overkill on it. I just said,
Yeah, that's where I mainly do my jewelry boxes is Etsy, and then like anything else, I'll do like the local markets for like custom shelves and stuff. But
yeah, my wife's been yelling to get me to go one of those craft shows, and I just haven't done it. I don't know. I don't know. I think that's a different level too. Like you're kind of setting everything up, and you come in a volume, and I don't know if I want to feel crafty. I don't know. Is that rude to say?
no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't go to craft fairs either.
Yeah.
I've done a few, but my granddaughter does quite a few of them. So I just give my stuff to her and say, here, take this and see what you can get out of it. And she does pretty well with it. She does well with her own stuff too.
Yeah, no. I might bring the crap that doesn't sell, like those birdhouses. I could just unload some stuff. I don't know. I think that a lot of times those craft fairs are like, man, they got so many hours in some of those things. I don't discredit any of their work, but they're not making any money by any means. It's like there's no way selling something for $20. It looks like it took them, 2 weeks. Like, so.
Yeah. You
So
get in what you put in.
Exactly. Roger, I had a ton of people reach out to me saying that they're happy that you joined us because I never talk about 3D printers. But I also had a lot of people yelling at me saying that they're going to be jumping on later because they have some mods they would like you to do or be willing to do for noiseless motors. And I was like, hey, you know what? I don't know much about 3D printers. You guys want to jump on later? But what I'm being told is that supposedly there's certain motors that the RPMs they hum at are a higher frequency range than our ears can hear. So it might drive your neighbor's dogs crazy, but
There's it depends on the driver on the board. The early 3D printers didn't have the what they call the silent drivers, and boy, those things would just scream. Now the newer printers, what they call the Core XY, and not the bed slingers, that's what I have running. I can't believe it. You could hear that. It's clear on the other side of the loft, but it makes noise. And I've got a Kitty Galaxy back here in the corner. It's not on right now, but it's noisy as well. Well, my other 3D printers back here all have the silent driver boards in them.
Yeah, it sounds like whoa. Sounds like Charlie Brown's teachers being strangled in the background.
Mm-hmm. People in the old days, people used to make print jobs for 3D printers that played music.
Greg, I'll send you a set of plans I used when I had my first job site table saw table that I built.
There you go. Hello from Long Island. Long Island's in the building.
Long Island.
Hey guys, so you appreciate you guys saying all where you're from. If you have any questions for us, feel free to leave it in the comments. That's what we're doing these questions and answers for. To be able to answer any questions you have.
I see one comment on here about a lot of craft shows want you to have a tax number. They want you to charge sales tax. That's so the governor can get his cut, and that's very, very common here. And I have a tax number, so I got an FEIN number too. So for me, it's no big deal.
Yeah, I use my custom home business to do all my woodworking stuff through.
That's crazy to me. The thing to me is like, look, if you want to get some big company for tax evasion, I get it. Microsoft, IBM, Google, Amazon, something. But if someone's literally doing a craft fair, it's their little side hustle, just the same as they're doing these taxing PayPal and all that. Like, has our country really gotten that bad that we need to tax PayPal?
We beat Big Pharma.
If Walmart was using PayPal, I get it, but like, you really got to go after a little guy, just leave,
who else are they going to go after?
Leave the little pennies, leave them alone.
I've got a whole pile of 1099Ks just for the IRS here.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I am awake. I don't feel well.
Oh man, you don't got the COVID, do you?
No, I don't got the Rona.
All right, that's good. Hello from Maine.
Nah, no Rona.
They would say, hey brother, you're great, and the things you make are unbelievable. Do you have a Patreon page to join? Nicholas, who are you speaking to?
Yeah. Gotta be more specific. There's 4 guys on here.
Yeah. It was already given out. Steve has the OnlyFans, but if you're in Pete Finder. My son has 6 3D printers. My hubby has 2. My hubby also has a home tech engraver. Together, we're making a pretty good team. That's cool because if one is specializing on something, or I think these things are like crack, right? The first one's free.
Yeah. Hey, Rick, I had a company reach out to me, a laser engraving company. It's like, it starts with an E, like EMOC or something.
Okay.
But I don't know. They want to send me some stuff and use it and do a video with it.
To be honest with you, I assumed that was going to happen because the 3 of us collectively kind of do that a lot.
And then everybody heard you didn't have a laser, so
We do that a lot.
I think
so if they see on us, you'll probably get 100 emails a day. It's like
I think those guys make fiber lasers though.
Yeah, he said it was a 10 watt maybe or 20 watt.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Well, it's possible it's a diode laser, I guess. But...
Yeah, I'm not sure. They're going to send it, so we'll see.
Yeah. I think
it's a slippery slope. It's a bit like prostitution, actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I had 2 other sponsors. That guy just wanted to do a collab. The other 2 people that emailed me wanted to do sponsorships, and I was just like, I'm good for the moment, thanks.
Daniel, they're asking what happened to Stuck on Sawdust. Are you still doing the series?
I just released a video like 2 days ago.
There you go.
I got a new one dropping tonight and tomorrow.
Nice. Yeah, so my answer to as far as just being honest and completely transparent, so anyone who's trying to do the same exact thing, if you want me to review something, the item itself has to at least be enough to compensate my time. I'm not going to take a $12 item and you want me to do a 12 video thing. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want me to do some cheap thing and you want to give me $2,000, let's talk. I'm being honest. But the other point is that you're not paying me to lie. Like, I'm going to tell what I really think. And if you're not cool with me saying what I really think, good or bad, then we don't have a deal at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I generally don't take paid gigs for reviews because I like to say what I want to say. And quite often somebody will say, well, we have this wonderful thing, and I'll look at it and go, yeah, I'm not going to review that because I don't think it's very good. And I have had companies actually send me lasers more or less unsolicited, and I look at them and go, you don't want me to review this on my channel. So for a while there, I had about 5 of them piled up still in the box. And I finally gave most of them to schools and things. So
the guy ended the email with, "Let me know what your demands are."
Yeah, they want to know what you want. What do you want for your compensation?
So that's an invitation for you to get paid. Not that we want to get too deep into this discussion on a for lasers, but
well, I actually just posted a video not too long ago. I will not accept sponsorships. I will not accept payment to make videos. I will not accept contracts. And if they want to see the video before I post it, I say no thanks.
Yeah, same with me.
Yep. Yeah, I almost always refuse to show companies the video before I release it.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, my job, my goal isn't to destroy a company. So, but if there's things wrong, like the Creality Falcon 2, I had major issues with that laser, and they took some exception to it, but a month later they sent me a Creality K1 Pro, so I guess they weren't too upset.
So I want to address this comment here. David says laser is not woodworking. I posted some laser videos on woodworking channels, and man, I got destroyed. You know what I mean? This is not laser work. This is not woodworking. And so then I posted another video saying this is, and I made those flower boxes. So I would say if you're saying laser is not woodworking, then neither is a router table. Yeah, there's a CNC.
Yeah, I get that CNC comment a lot. That's not woodworking. You're using CNC. Well,
Yeah, I mean,
Go find some woodworking then.
yeah, I think that it could. I think that it's you could take your woodworking to a whole nother level, right? The things you can do with that
It's
laser.
basically an accessory.
Exactly.
I had an old guy tell me that a CNC is only for making signs. So I showed him the chess set I made.
That's right.
You should have played them that comedy skit, the one that says, "Here's your sign."
I like the CNC for like doing jigs and stuff. Really good.
Yeah, I mean, definitely they're good for signs, but you can use it like any other tool. That's like saying a table saw is only good for cutting boards, right?
Yeah, it's only good for making.
It's a pretty generic statement.
Yeah.
You know, I did see Daniel's comment last week about the table saws, them making all those new laws about it and mandating all these laws. And man, that was like a spin-off in itself. Like, holy cow! I see the comments that were just coming in, and I think it kind of spiraled other videos that you had made, and it's I think that's going to get pretty insane. Like, really, if we're going to get to that level, you know, if you want to make it have to be 18 or older, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Gerald said laser's just another woodworking tool. I would agree.
Yeah, people like personalized logos, personalized names, dates, you know, wedding gift boxes. That's perfect for that stuff.
Someone asked, can you please review the Iker K1 Pro? I have. So if you go to my channel, I don't know whose channel you're watching this from. I did the Iker K1 Pro. I did like 12 or 14 videos.
Hey, can I ask them a question? What's Alistair making today?
What is Alistair making today? Yeah, what are you making today? Don't say coleslaw or something like that. Work smarter, not harder. Exactly. We're just saying it's another accessory or a tool in your tool belt, you know, of tools.
Cat.
What test set did you make off the CNC?
Well, hang on.
Oh, ask you shall receive. How you like that one?
I made a chest set by hand.
Now, when you ask these questions, you got to make sure you address one of us. Who are you talking to? So let me hide your comments so you can see our names. I'm Rich 2 Cents. This is Steve. Roger. I'm not sure who you're asking the question to.
So this isn't the chest that I was talking about, but these came off a CNC.
Wow.
That's
really
insane.
Now, it's about buying the right CNC and the right tools, of course. But the one I made was it was a 3.5-inch king and board, so it was pretty peppy, and it was all weighted, triple weighted. So there's actually a picture of it on my at Slice Pie Design Instagram page.
Well, is your CNC a 4-axis?
Sorry?
You have a 4-axis CNC?
I do now. I bought a Onefinity Elite, and I built a rotary axis for it. I should actually do a video on it because it seems to be a very popular desire. It's the whole reason I bought that was because the Masso controller can support a 4th axis.
Yeah, I've had a CNC about a month now. When I got it, the whole 8 hours for to put it together. I think it said 3.5 hours or 4 hours to put it together. In my head was 8, and I was like, I just want time to do it.
Yeah, I'm about to do an upgrade video on the SainSmart 4030 Rover XL version 2, that one. I'm going to do a 6060 rail upgrade on it. That one's coming up soon. It's a nice little CNC.
So on your CNC, someone's asking for the computer wise, do you have some PC computer or just a cheap generic garbage running it?
Well, you have to be somewhat computer literate.
No, I think what they're trying to say is like, is it an expensive computer or just a cheap,
No, well, yeah. So to actually load G code up to the CNC, it can be pretty much any computer. You can do it on your phone. But if you want to do something complex, so I typically design things in Fusion 360 or some proper CAD tool, and then migrate it over to VCarve, which is the tool that converts a design into file, and then you fire that over to the CNC. So there's a few tools involved, but other than, I would say Fusion 360 is probably the most complicated of those. There's a bit of a learning curve for that.
On my laser, I just use a $300, the cheapest Best Buy laptop HP that I could find. Can't speak on a CNC, but it's just literally the cheapest one I could find. Good evening, gentlemen.
Yeah.
What's up, Sydney?
Yeah, your question: what do you use to clean your table saw blades and table saws, etc.?
Simple grade.
Yeah.
Works like a charm.
Steel wool.
Yep.
Wire brush for the table saw blade.
And you need to have the lid off of a 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah, that'll help.
Lay the blade on that lid and spray it down with simple green. Let it soak a little while, a little bit of steel wool. You're good to go.
It's all about finding new ways to limit up your tools, whatever they may be. 100%. Chris, can you say that one more time? I think it's like old school versus new school, right? It's like that whole mentality of thinking.
Yeah.
You as some people say, if it's powered, it's not woodworking, right?
Well, we always say opinions are like,
Everyone has one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so my brother carves wooden spoons by hand, and I told him wooden spoon on my CNC, and he said, "Well, that's not fair." I said, "What difference does it make? You're looking for the end goal, not how you get there." Now there is the kind of pride of creation when you're doing it yourself, but
I made some test pieces on the table saw. It was awesome.
Yeah, with a CNC, you just do all of that pride stuff up front in the design, and yeah, when you get to the CNC, you're pushing a button. The comment was cat here. You're really just pushing a button and saying go, but you've done all of that design work already. It's just you do it before you have to worry about what material or how you're going to create the thing. So
now they're asking, do you sell those chess pieces?
I have. The one I built, I sold. This one is actually going to be, I've actually been working on this one for a couple of months, and then I got busy. But yeah, people want good quality chess sets, not the $5 ones you can buy on Amazon.
So one question there is, light burn hard to learn? Well,
no,
not really. It, like anything, it has a learning curve. Whether you're getting into CNC, that's a little more complex. But lasers, light burn, it's just got a little bit of learning curve. It's not that hard. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there that'll help you out. And light burn actually has a whole series.
Yeah, you can definitely use your phone on some of these new things, but I would not suggest it. Just use your laptop. If someone's asking, do you need to know how to use a computer? And if you're not computer literate at all, you're starting behind the ball. I guess the learning curve of learning that, but I don't think it's impossible to learn.
Yeah, when Lightburn first came out, it was probably buying it was just a no-brainer. It was just something you did. The concern I have with Lightburn going forward is they're not keeping up with technology. So the Lightburn today is virtually the same as the Lightburn from 5 years ago. And so things like autofocus on lasers and contoured cutting like you would have on an X2L S1, they don't support any of that stuff. And they don't actually have an architecture in their software to support this. So I'm kind of wondering if something else is going to swoop in and scoop up the market on them because they're getting behind.
Conrad said that more or less being able to run a file and being able to create a file is two different things, right? Yep. And being able to create a file is a skill in itself. And when I got into fiber laser, to be honest with you, I didn't want to have to learn like I did a diode laser. So I'm actually paying someone to school me. I won't mention the names, but there's two pretty good names that are in the industry. They're like the Donkey Kongs of teaching those types of classes, and they're not cheap. And I chose to use them because then I think it's going to put me 8 months to a year ahead of time. And just kind of hit the ground a little bit running. And I was saying before, when people were asking about diode lasers, if you bought some for $500, you got time to learn. If you bought some for $9,000, you kind of want to hit the ground running, right? I mean, it's a different level playing field.
Yeah. It's the same thing goes with those that goes with CNCs, right? If they're sitting idle, they're losing money.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get into that $3,000-$4,000 plus range on fiber lasers, they have to be running all the time.
April says, I watched a couple videos on the longer B1, and I think it's what I'm looking for. My question would be, how far does Lightburn to use?
Yeah, well, as Roger said, there's a bit of a learning curve there, but it's once you get past the struggle of mapping a line on a canvas in Lightburn to something that happens on a laser, so the settings, converting that line to some setting. Once you get past that, it's all pretty straightforward. The nice thing about Lightburn is you can do a lot of authoring in it, so you don't need a separate tool. You can do pretty much everything in Lightburn if you really want to.
The one thing I just want to add, and people get really pissed off that are new, when they go on these groups, that they start asking for settings, and some people are not very forthcoming with that. And even if someone did give you settings, the wood's different. The laser may not be like. There's a whole lot of variables. It may be a good point to start, but it doesn't mean you're going to have the same results. So even if they were truthful, don't get mad if they turn out the same like they lied.
Well, I've given examples before. I've taken 4 10-watt lasers, all 10-watt output, put the same file in each one and the same setting in each one, and got 4 different outcomes.
Yeah, I've seen
your own test.
Not so much on diode lasers, but on CO2 lasers, you can take 2 lasers that are the same model, same power, same everything, and they'll produce different results with different settings or with the same settings. And so it is always an awkward question when somebody says, hey, what are the settings for this? Well, what laser, what day is the moon full? Like, there's just so many variables. You just kind of have to learn it on your own. The easiest way to do it is to run a material test. And that'll tell you what your laser acts like. And that's built into Lightburn.
Yeah, Mike, I think you hit the nail on the head when we talked about this a couple of times. But my apologies on people using computers and woodworking. In my opinion, it takes the spirit and hands of the field out of the equation. And if you want to sand and you bought pre-made cutting boards and someone laser engraved them, I might agree with you. But if you made that cutting board and then you laser engraved it, I'm going to say no, not at all. So
it's kind of like how singers use auto-tune, you know?
Yeah, or porno stars use Viagra. Sometimes
even if you got into dovetails, I know I cut dovetails. I learned it back in high school in woodshop, but I use a dovetail jig and a router because it's faster. And if I need to turn something out quick, I'm not going to screw around hand cutting those dovetails. Not if I'm trying to make some money on it.
April says, would you suggest getting it and practicing before getting a laser? No.
No, because you have nothing to reference to.
Yeah, it's not worth it. You need the laser to play with it. Verdict software, pricey but excellent. I've never used it. Have any of you guys used it?
I'm not familiar with it.
Sorry.
Where was that question?
Verdict software, pricey but excellent.
Vectric?
Yeah, Vectric.
It's pretty expensive. So this is the one ugly side of CNC. Almost all of the tools are crazy expensive. You can certainly use something like easel, but it has all kinds of weird restrictions on it. And this is the tool to create the design, not the tool to shove it over to the CNC. Vectric tends to be anywhere from a few hundred to a few $1,000s. Like, it's not cheap, but it is good. But one of the things I like about their licensing policy is you can start with something small, like just their 3D. They have a bunch of sort of carved out products that are much smaller. So if you want something that just does images, and if you decide to upgrade to the next one, they only charge you the difference in price. They don't charge you some crazy premium. So you can start small and you can work your way up to Aspire, which will cost you thousands.
So Daniel, I want to put this argument to rest about the woodworking, not woodworking. You are essentially the beast of woodworking on this group, and you're going to be migrating and adding an additional tool, a laser to your wood shop. How do you feel about that? What made you decide to make that transition? And what are your thoughts on doing that? Since we're getting this, and or maybe someone's self-preserved and not willing to do that because they're too intimidated. What made you was it make like fuck it?
Oh, did he freeze? I was going to say, this is the point where we point at him and go, he's a witch.
Hey, you there with us?
There he is. Oh.
Kind of fading in and out there.
There he is. There he is.
What just happened?
You froze.
Oh, sorry. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, well, it really wasn't a decision I made. I just happened to open my email and have
You could have said no. You could have
like
said
4
no.
emails from different. I could have said no.
Yeah. So what made you decide to go for it?
The way he approached me with it was reasonable. Just why not? I mean, free tools,
Yeah.
Try it out, see how I like it. And if I don't like it, I'll give you my honest opinion, but we will find out.
Evening, gang. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. Hey, Ben.
I'm pretty excited about it. Plus, you got to keep up with technology,
It'll be interesting because you're a complete newbie, right? So you'll be starting from nothing. Like, take something out of the box that you don't understand, and we could do something.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Maybe
it's gonna be wild.
Subscribe to one of our channels, and you can learn.
Oh, I'm already on it. I've been watching y'all all day.
Well, that's where I was with my first 3D printer. I didn't know anything about it. Didn't have a clue what I was doing when I got the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you catch on.
Yeah.
Jim said it right here. Test everything or lose money. 100%.
Yeah.
I would say if it's not running, you're just losing money. Like, it's gotta, you gotta be doing something. Is a table saw and sander means it's not woodworking? For those think CNC is not woodworking. Exactly.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like hand tools or machines.
In 10 to 15 years, a CNC will be much as common as a planer. Yeah, I could see it coming down in price.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to even take that long. It's pretty common now.
I think 3D printers are going to become like that. Like, I told my daughter the other day, she's notorious for taking a can of pop and stick it in the refrigerator. I'm like, why the hell do you do that? Either drink it all or it's going to taste horrible from the fridge. The first thing I do if I get a 3D printer is I'm going to build one of those caps, stick it on the damn pop, and stick it in the refrigerator.
What's going to be interesting is some of the regulations around 3D printers, just because all the crazies are printing ghost guns with them. And
yes,
apologies to any crazy on the call who's creating ghost guns, but that's the thing that's going to kill it, right? Is regulation. Now, I think the regulation is all bogus because I built the last 3D printer I built myself, and none of the parts in there scream 3D printer, other than the hot end.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how they're even going to regulate it because people will just start building their own printers.
Look at this. I turn a bowl on my lathe, then I engrave my logo on the bottom with my laser, or I band it with a branding iron, which was custom made. Which one is woodworking? that's the exact point of what we're saying. It all is, and I think it's just two different crowds like just don't get along.
I make
Unless you
bowls
have a-
on my table saw, so does that count?
Yeah, unless you have a whittling knife, none of it's woodworking.
Yeah, I think this is a problem. We're all woodworking at one time. To be honest with you, like I thought, like the laser groups or the laser forums / woodworking, they were a little more easy to get answers out of, or to be a noob to not feel so stupid. And the straight woodworking, like man, they were brutal, like pretty brutal.
I was pretty brutal about it at first myself. I'll be honest. You know,
Like, man. Like, I was just like, I'm not asking shit on this. I'm just gonna unsubscribe to this forum. You know, like wow, wacky. You know, yeah. I'm still old school. None of my woodworking tools have a
backup beeper,
The backup beavers.
bongo bill.
all the fancy plants with your new fangled tools. In my day, we used rocks and we're grateful.
Hey, I've driven nails with rocks before. It wasn't that long ago.
Roger sat behind Jesus in the 3rd grade, so he every technology can be modified to do evil things. It's just how it goes. Yep. Yep. I heard the Navy's getting big into 3D printers because when they're out in the middle somewhere, they can 3D print all kinds of parts.
Yeah, they're using metal deposition printers, so they're
Yeah,
they're
those
making metal
things are
parts.
like $1 million.
Yeah.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
actually 3D printing a house not too far from me here.
Oh, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Yeah, I saw
3D
that.
printer uses concrete.
Mm-hmm.
My 3D printers are used mainly as a tool for making parts for my laser or CNC. Yeah.
Yep.
Jigs. Yeah, man, I tell you what, anytime I'm going to build 10 of something, I don't care what it is, if it's wood or what it is, a jig is well worth spent, you know? Like, if you're going to build something all the time, a jig is totally worth it.
I'm looking. I usually have something in here that's 3D printed. I have actually my chisel sharpener up there is all 3D printed.
My grandma used to wash my clothes with the whitewash board and upgrade it with the masses.
There's an example of some 3D printed stuff. I've got bins of them sitting here. Because we sell so many of these a week.
My grandma used to still have the wash machine, and at the top, you wrung the clothes out. And I told her, like, Grandma, like, why do you have this? She's like, because it still works.
I still hang my clothes out to dry on the line.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's what she would do. After she washed it, they wring it out, like in that thing at the top of the washer, and they would just hang their clothes to dry.
Yep.
When I was a kid, my mother had a wringer washer. Of course, that was back in the late 50s, early 60s. But
1870s.
yeah,
I feel that people do not have a CNC machine believe it's not woodworking until they have a CNC machine. Probably a valid point. You know.
I'd like to see the guy with the 3D printed nose. There's a comment in the feed here.
I smoked my table saw today with 2.5-inch oak boards. I believe it would cut and save me some time. Man, you should hear that though when you're pushing, or maybe you're pushing too
Yeah,
hard.
you gotta cut anything thicker than like 3/4. I usually take passes, like half at a time.
Yeah.
It'll definitely.
Okay, the
Go ahead.
question that popped up there is, what are these? These are risers and mounts for a either a longer ray 5 or an Atom Stack A30 or the X30 laser. So this part right here mounts to your baseboard. When the leg sets in it, you use 4 of them. So if you take your laser off the baseboard and put it back, it'll be in the same spot. Then these here are risers if you're using a rotary or if you have some thick material. That's a 25 millimeter riser, and this is the 50 millimeter riser. So now you're up 75 millimeters. You can keep stacking these within reason. I mean, you're not going to make a one-story building, but and these are, I do these for a lot of different brands of lasers, and they're on our website, and it's just, it keeps all these printers running.
I tell you what, I still struggle with, and our Canadian brother over here, he wouldn't, but because I know the rest of the world uses it. But when someone tells me 6 millimeters, whatever, I'm like, what? Tell me in inches, damn it. But, you know, I just can't like.
That's
Well,
like
this
a
is-
quarter inch, ain't it?
Maybe this is why the woodworkers have such a gripe against laser people, because generally in lasers you work in millimeters because they're
Oh,
more
right.
precise.
That's
Yeah,
horrible.
but what if you told me 3/4 of an inch, 5.5 inches, like I could have a mental image what it is, but you know, you're like 6.5 millimeters. I'm like, huh? Like, I just
60
can't-
millimeters.
You know what I mean? I just can't like, you know. I went to grade school
Well,
for a little. Anyway,
there's like you guys south of the border and some little third world island out in the middle of the Pacific that still use the imperial system. So
I guess I'm fortunate in that I recognize both of them instantly. So I had so many years when I was in the electrical trade. It was all in instrumentation and high voltage and that, and everything was metric.
Yeah.
And in a lot of my videos, I will say, you know, I'll hold up a wrench and say, this is like 10 M&Ms. Well, then the grammar police will come after me. Those are millimeters. Those aren't M&Ms. So then I like to call the Allen wrenches alien wrenches just to get them fired up.
Well, I think 8, 10, and 12 millimeter socket is like always missing, right?
10 is half inch. I know that much. 10 millimeters.
yeah, I actually, when I was going to school, I started in the feet and inches and pounds system, and then about halfway through school we converted to the metric system here, and so I speak both languages. I made the mistake of telling one of my kids one day that something was about a yard long, and he said, "What's a yard?"
3 feet, dude. Like
39 inches. Okay, what's an inch?
He's like, you mean outside?
36 inches.
Mary,
I'll get thrown if I get in between miles and kilometers. I don't grasp that real fast.
Yeah.
I'm just more of a hands-on guy. I see tons of woodworkers workers fussing about sanding. I hand sand house floors for 10 years. Results always worth it. You must have hands like concrete. That's all
right.
I say.
I was thinking more of his knees.
He pulled me over.
You want to get on his knees?
Yeah, my
I had some problems. Give me inches. Give me inch measurements. I guess when you're bragging to a woman, you could be like, "I'm 47 millimeters."
that sounds good.
Sounds better than 3.5 inches. Grammar police. And
Yeah, it never fails if I'll say something wrong. Like instead of saying an Arduino board, which is what said 3D printers and lasers mostly, I once said Arduino, just out of fun. And boy, the grammar police just got all over me.
Where do you buy lumber that's in inches in the U.S. unless it's at a mill? Everyone sells it by inches.
Yeah, Menards.
So here in Canada, even like dimensional lumber, like if I go buy a piece of walnut, it's going to be 5/4 or 4/4. It won't be some crazy 25 millimeter thing or 250 millimeters long or anything. It'll be regular normal measurement. That's why here you have to be able to do both, right? Because if you are woodworking, you'll have to do dimensional lumber in inches.
April Daniel said, Daniel, I saw the video with you showing us some of your boxes you made. They're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question for you guys. On your guys' side, when you're watching this, can you see these comments on the right-hand side?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Maybe.
So are you watching, Rick, are you watching your channel or are you watching?
No, I'm in
Yeah,
the I'm in
Yeah,
StreamYard.
when I watch my channel, I can see them.
No, I'm in StreamYard, and then to the right, I see the comments. Do you guys see the same thing?
I see. I'm in StreamYard too. I see all of the comments here.
Okay, all right, cool. I just wasn't sure because I know if you guys click on that, you guys can also make these pop up. I assume you can. Why do some people use 5/4, 8/4 instead? Oh,
Because it's
That
better.
goes way back. Now that goes way back into the 1800s. And I actually read that in Uncle John's bathroom reader. That's how I knew that.
now you know what that is.
That's a book you have in the bathroom for when you're studying.
Yeah, this is a great question. I don't know the answer either, but I just when I go to the exotic wood store, I just automatically click into quarters.
Yeah. As many are saying, time is money. Years ago, accountants used to use calculators with spreadsheets. Now they use Microsoft Excel. They're also known as accountants. Tools involved. Exactly.
They don't wear those green visors anymore either.
Look at it. Oh, did I miss it? What'd you miss? I'm using that next, guys. Okay. He's using, I think he's 45 millimeters. That is his dating profile. Buy plywood is more metric these days. I've never seen it.
Yeah, go actually, even in the US, Rick, go measure the plywood and you'll probably realize it's like a 1/4 inch, won't be 1/4 inch. It'll be something slightly smaller than that.
I was buying
actually 6 millimeter.
I was buying cedar planks, right, to make these flower beds, and they were like a 3/4 of an inch variance, and I'm like, what? That's a lot. Like, how do you because I literally had to pull them all out and stack them next to each other. They were slightly different, but 3/4 of an inch. I'm like, it's supposed to be 8 inches wide, so 3/4 of an inch different off that. Like, that's a lot. I was like, what the heck? Yeah, love the jokes. I'm just naturally a wise ass. Hopefully, we don't get in trouble on Facebook and YouTube. I'll try to curb my tongue. I get a kick out of these people in UK. They measure everything in metrics until they get out on the highway. Then they have miles.
I've noticed that.
Yeah. So we're a little bit kind of bilingual here around measurement too. So we measure in kilometers when you're driving on the road, but if you talk about somebody's weight, it's usually in pounds.
Phil, that's why I'm sharing the comments on the screen, because if you're on Daniel's YouTube page live, you may not see Roger's or Steve's or I's. So that's why I'm sharing them, so everyone can see them as we're answering people's questions. You don't think we're talking to ourselves, making up imaginary people.
Yeah, we're all got kind of a little learning curve here with the streaming software with a group. So
yeah. So if I full screen, comments disappear. Yeah, I think because when you're live, the comments are temporary, right? And then they kind of transition once the video goes to like a recorded. It's a little different. Hello from Central Washington. Hey guys, make sure you comment in the feed below and let us know how you found us, where you're watching us from. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and let us know how you found us. Are you watching us on YouTube? Are you watching us on Facebook? How'd you get to us? Canada metric, isn't it?
We're sort of 90% metric, I'd say.
So when you measure a base of a tree, how do you measure it?
I don't. I have people for that. Cut that tree down.
First, it's a laser engraver, then it's OnlyFans. We said, hey, if you're into the feet, talk to Steve.
That's it. I'm closing my OnlyFans account.
What is your opinion on the best non-oil or hardwood finished products?
Non-oil.
mine is lacquer. That's going to probably generate something.
Real lacquer or the kind of stuff they sell in the hardware store now?
I use lacquer mostly because I can spray it out of my gun, and I don't have to. It's easy to clean up, and it flashes fast, so I can multi-coat fast. Or if I'm using a polyurethane, it takes quite a while for it to dry, and I absolutely abhor water-based finishes because it raises the grain.
All right, so this next question, I think we can all give them some input. Any tips on creating content for YouTube? I've uploaded things. I enjoy creating it. It's going good so far. Now I'm trying to jump in there first.
Stick with it.
Yeah, find your niche and go with it. Of course, they say to stick with one subject. I don't do that. I mean, I do 3D printing. I do lasers. I do woodworking. I do engine mechanics. I do electrical stuff. We do sublimation and heat presses and we got a lot of things going on here, so I don't stick with one subject, but you're supposed to. So they say.
Yeah, I don't stick to one subject either, but mostly lasers, I'd say, and every once in a while I'll poke in a CNC project or something. So sometimes like I'm going to do a 3D printer review soon, so I put one of those in every now and again.
Daniel, someone asked a question on advice on starting a new YouTube page. Do you have any advice for them starting off?
Just start, and experience is the most priceless experience you can have, if it makes sense. Just keep going at it, be consistent, and engage with your audience.
Yeah.
So my advice,
build a community. Yeah.
My advice is don't expect everyone to be your fan. You know.
Yeah.
And I can go online right now and post a picture of my son on Facebook, and I'll get 150 likes. You know, I have 1,500 friends. I go and post one of my videos on my personal page, I'll get 3. So just because you're doing something and you're geeky into something, your own personal friends, your own personal family, hell, even your own spouse may not be interested at all. So I'm doing stuff like this. My wife's like, I want to go out to dinner. Sorry. Why did you choose 6:30? I said, because we have 3 different time zones. You know, like it's like in the middle, you know?
Yeah.
So I would just say, if you're doing YouTube, do it for yourself. There are people who go viral and become instantly famous, you know, but like these Mr. Beats type people, what you don't realize is they weren't instantly famous. They've been doing this since they're probably 16 years old. And, you know, so they got 15 years in. And sometimes these bigger YouTubers, they're giving you advice that's totally wrong. And what I mean by that is, if I'm Mr. Beast, I can make a video and in the title write banana socks, and I'm going to get 72 million views. Why? Because all the platforms are going to suggest them. If any one of us made a YouTube video and only thing we wrote in the title was banana socks, we might get some weirdos, but we're not going to draw any attention.
No.
So you might want to listen to someone who's an upcoming, who's more relevant. It's like going up to the president and asking how much a gallon of milk is. He's going to not have a clue. You know, you're just in 2 different worlds. So, you know, get a mentor or someone you aspire to be.
You got to stay focused. As Daniel said, be consistent. Now, people misinterpret be consistent, though. There's still this kind of mystique on YouTube that you have to publish every Tuesday at 3:00, and you can't. You have to publish when something's ready. Like, I haven't published something since, I don't know, it was probably the middle of 2 weeks ago. And yeah, it does impact your daily subscriptions and things, because, hey, you haven't done anything new. It's like, it's been a week, right? And so there is that. But if you take a look on YouTube at YouTuber videos, specifically about YouTube, I mean, you'll see a surprising number of YouTubers are dropping off because they're burnt out. And because of that, they're just it's a machine, right? And you have to publish in a way that keeps you happy, not a way that keeps YouTube happy. Otherwise, you'll kill yourself.
And that's what I do. You know, I might post 2 videos in a week, and I might not post one for 3 weeks. It just, it's whatever. And I don't have a set day. I don't have a set schedule. It's whenever I feel like it.
Yeah. I went with that series kind of format just to kind of have something they could expect next out of me. And that tended to catch on pretty good. But and create some short form content too. That doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Ben says, don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Yeah, guys. Appreciate it. It helps the algorithm, pumps us up. And again, you know, if you guys have any questions or anything, you know, feel free to drop those comments in below, and we'll answer them accordingly. Watching your YouTube found you on Roger's channel. Roger, one of your subscribers found low. Let's see, Blacker. Someone said slack.
Slack. I just did a finish video on what my favorite finish was.
Yeah. Someone said, I found you guys on Daniel's YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in. One of Daniel's fans there. Hard wax oils are awesome, but wipe on and off buff almost impossible to mess up.
I'll agree with that. I've used those.
I want to show you guys, see if you've seen it before.
Yeah. The good thing about lacquer or shellac finishes is compared to oils or tongue oil, which takes up to a couple days of a finishing process, with shellac or lacquer, you could be done in 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's my whole reason for using it.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yep. Oil, the beeswax stuff.
Yeah.
The cut
That's
board
just
oil.
mineral oil and beeswax, or
Yeah.
And
yeah,
orange.
I usually make my own too for cutting boards and stuff. But I'll
Yeah,
put
that's good for
I'll
cutting
put
boards.
a bit of lemon oil in it as well, just to give it a little zing.
So it looks like you're making what I'm buying. I think it was pretty cheap on Amazon. I
Yeah.
don't remember. I think it was like $20 or around there.
Yeah, I just make it. I'll get out. I have a $3 crock pot that I got at some sale, and I just fill it up with beeswax and some mineral oil and let it simmer for about 10 minutes and pour it into cans.
So what made me brave enough to publish a video? My grandson bet me. That's all it took.
Yep.
He had a channel. He says, "I'll bet you can't make a channel." I said, "Well, we'll see." Well, guess what? I'm monetizing. He isn't.
Yeah.
That's great.
My
So
first
I started my YouTube channel because I have a friend whose son started a YouTube channel when he was about 12, and he bought his first house when he was 16. And he does Minecraft videos, or used to. I don't know what he does now. But so my mentality was, this must be easy because a 12-year-old can do it. And Mr. Beast has 200 million viewers, so it's got to be easy, and it's not. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is a lot of
It's
work.
not easy. It is a lot of work, and it is actually expensive. By the time you buy all your equipment and editing software, and what a lot of people don't understand is that you might take 2 hours to shoot a video, you might be 3 hours doing editing.
Yeah, I actually just flew to Philadelphia, where Rockies ran up the stairs, and I did some short content there and some motivational stuff. I'm making probably 6 videos from flying out there, but I think that was pretty cool. But I think the biggest thing too is to watch your own videos, right?
Yeah.
If you find yourself fast forwarding, and that's your video, what do you think somebody else is going to do, right?
Yep.
And also, you should always have at least 1 or 2 things you're improving. Like, I'm watching on videos, I'm looking at this background, I'm like, damn, this is just pissing me off. It looks like crap, right? From this angle, from my laptop. Now, if you're watching YouTube and you're watching me do something that's a different view, so I'm like, I need to figure out something back. You should be your own critic. To always just improve something differently. So,
Yeah, I'd say if you're starting a YouTube channel, start with a smartphone, because they all have great cameras in them. Buy a good microphone. That should be your first thing. Buy a good microphone.
Yep, 100%.
So I was thinking about I just got paid from YouTube the other day. I'm sure you guys got your checks. But I was thinking about buying the DJI wireless mic set. There's 2 of them. The only reason versus the mic, like you got the new, what is it? Sure? Is it Sure?
Yeah.
It's like they got a new one. It's like 12 dB plus, and it's got a USB out or the old school, plug. But yeah, I think that mic would be good for right now. But when I'm doing this in the background, or I'm interviewing someone, that wireless mic.
Yeah,
well, I didn't even realize
this is a Shure mic. You have to be pretty close with them, pretty direct. If you want to shoot overhead, you can get a shotgun mic or something. But
I didn't realize how to monetize until about 2 weeks ago.
I thought you told me your YouTube shorts were monetized. You just chose not to do your long content.
I didn't know I could do my long form.
Oh wow, yeah, because I know short term you can't not. They just automatically do it.
Yeah. So
In case somebody doesn't know what a shotgun mic is, this is a shotgun mic. And I only use this. This is my portable video camera here when I'm walking around. Otherwise, I'm all cordless and wireless, and I use Hollyland and DJI mics.
yeah, I got Hollyland.
I like them. Yeah, USB charge, and they're quick. And yeah, this is what a shotgun mic is. and you can actually turn it around. So if I'm walking around mobile using this, I'll turn it around and talk directly into it. But to have it sitting up back on the tripod and trying to talk to it, it sounds like you're inside a tin can.
Yeah.
Yes. Julia said one thing with Daniel, he always comes back. He's like a faithful dog, man.
Yeah. I'm relentless.
Yeah, be true to yourself, be true to your fans, and you should be solid 100%. Phil Smith said, Rick's 100% facts. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're being real transparent. That's the point of these videos. Like, if you're asking, we're really just gonna tell you like it is.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I have had conversations with companies who say, "Hey, we gave you a laser, do this thing for us." And quite often, my response is, "I don't work for you. I work for my viewers." And if they, if I recommend something that turns out to be terrible, then I hear about it. I already hear enough flack because somebody will get a bad one every once in a while, and it's like, oh no, what did I do? But yeah, so I think companies get a little upset sometimes. But
I had Mr. Beast's videos pop up, and it had just been released 4 hours, had 4.5 million views. That's more viewers than CNN gets nowadays. The point what I'm saying though, because it's the actual platforms that are promoting them. So if you ever watch any of our videos on how we self promote, we're going to give you tips, and if you ever check on what we're saying to do, they're not doing them at all because they actually don't have to. They're at that level.
Oh yeah.
At the same time as popular and probably rich as Mr. Beast is, I wouldn't really want his job.
No.
Chris said, I got notified from Steve's channel. So Chris, are you a Canuck or are you from stateside? Where are you at, Chris?
Canuck.
We call them Canucks here, but that's okay.
Canucks? Am I saying incorrectly? Canucks?
Yeah, come on, American.
Yeah, I'm saying it incorrectly. Canucks. Yeah, I'd rather you pronounce it correct my pronunciation rather than say it wrong all night.
Well, I could leave you saying things wrong for a long time.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I can probably say that I've never seen a Mr. Beast video.
Hey, let me tell you something about Conrad. He's one of my members, and he moderates my live chats when I go live because scammers and spam comments always come across.
Right.
But anyway, I thought it was a cool little note.
Love your stories. Very uprising. Great advice. Thank you. Yeah, April, I think that you're this is our third week, and I think I've seen you pop in every time. So yeah, that's cool. Thank you for joining us. I like when Daniel made the video and took along us for the ride to go to the wood store.
That was my magic box.
Hey guys, have you ever used conversion lacquer on smaller projects? What do you think? I know it costs more. I've seen Mr. Beast. I've never seen the Mr. Beast video either. I don't care.
I've never used conversion lacquer.
I haven't on any woodworking projects. I've used them on vehicles.
Sorry.
Maybe I should try shooting clear gel coat on some wood and see what it looks like. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I do fiberglass work, so why not?
Probably work. You can use resin with wood, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're all very wise. I have a S23 and use the stylus to edit my photos before I engrave them.
Well, you use what you have. I wouldn't use a phone for I assume an S23 is a phone. That's a Samsung phone, right?
I have an S22, and I have taken photos with it and brought them into Lightburn and then traced it, and turned it into an SVG, and went from there. You can also do that in Inkscape.
Yeah, review is very precise. Love all the honesty, pros and cons. I think,
I try to keep it that way. If something really blows, I'll let you know about it. For example, the 2 trees laser I had, I wasn't shy about letting people know all the flaws on it. Same with Creality's customer service. I went on and on about them quite a few times too.
Actually, that's a good one. We kind of put that one off last week. about customer service, generally quality and support, right?
Right.
I have yet to find a laser company that I would say is awesome at support. Lots of them are terrible, and some of them are names you've heard, but there aren't very many that I would call good.
The last two fiber lasers I have received, or the only two I should say, it's been insane because I'm not used to like being able to have like almost an immediate response. And I think what it is stateside. There's no manufacturer of fiber lasers. It's somebody rebranding them, right?
Yeah.
We're taking an $8,000 laser and they're charging 16 or plus. They're literally at minimal doubling the cost. So, and I understand when people are buying them direct from manufacturers, they're concerned, right? Because there's a whole lot of people pretending to be manufacturer and just scamming you out of your money. So I think they're maybe paying a little bit more attention to detail to make that initial sale. That's my only guess because I just can't believe how responsive they can be.
Hey, Rick, so for the giveaway tonight.
Ooh.
All right, guys. So here are the rules. Remember your rules. If you've been tuning in, Daniel's giving a giveaway. Let me hide this comment so you can see it. Daniel's giving a giveaway. In order to be eligible to win, you have to like every single one of our channels. You have to like one video and share one video. Whatever video it is, it doesn't matter.
And subscribe.
Yeah, and subscribe to every single one of our channels. We're not expecting you to leave the live feed to go subscribe to all our channels. We're not sending you $1 million item. We're men, we're women, we're grown adults. Just before we send it to you, the last thing we want to do is to verify you didn't do it. So just do it.
Is that like burled maple, Daniel?
It is Fiddleback Claro Walnut.
Oh. I was going to say walnut, but then I saw all the burl in it.
Yeah. It's got that crazy. This piece, I've never seen walnut curl like how this piece does. It's super unique. It almost looks kind of like computerized.
Did you get that accidentally, or did they charge you premium for that?
Oh, they charge. Yeah, they charge premium for sure. But golly, it's beautiful stuff. But yeah, that's the giveaway tonight.
Wow.
Beautiful, beautiful, guys. Oh, and the giveaway for the Zippo that we did last week, I've been back and forth communication with him, and he's having something designed for his wife. I think maybe a Valentine's Day gift. So I won't say what it is because I don't know if they're watching it or watching us, but it seems pretty cool. He's a truck driver, and he was watching us on the road, which is really cool. And he's stopping, and he subscribed to each one of our channels, and we had some interesting conversations. So cool.
Is it Rustic Bros?
He lying if I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
I can't remember it. But yeah, but
whoever wins though, just email me, Rick, and I'll make sure I get with him.
Okay. All right. What's a good laser engraver 20 watt plus?
There are many.
Again, it depends on what you're going to do with it, and how much you want to spend. You
Yeah.
get
I don't know what your picks are, Roger. I like the Algo Laser Delta. I like the longer B1. If you want an enclosed laser, I like the We Create Vision is a nice laser. Super easy to use.
My only complaint with the We Create Vision is that I'm so used to light burn.
Yeah.
And it's you got to go through hoops to do something light burn and pull it back into their software.
Yeah, so I was talking to the We Create guys about Lightburn support, and I was getting ready to test it for them, and then they bailed on it right away. They said there was some problem, which clearly is not a Lightburn problem. So I don't know where they are right now. They're in limbo, but they definitely are sensitive to the fact that they don't support Lightburn. Having said that, if you're a completely new user and you're not tainted by Lightburn, because Lightburn itself,
Right,
it has some challenges, right? the We Create Make It software is probably the easiest software you could possibly imagine for a laser.
Well, it's one of those, what you see is what you get. I just posted a video on one of those, and yeah, I was trying to do things with Lightburn into it. Well, this isn't working. I had actually watched their coaching video on how to pull something into their software from Lightburn.
Thomas, my question would be, what's your budget? And we're not trying to get personal, but what's your budget? And I think that we could give more of a direction, but there's going to be pros and cons to any laser, period. And I think that everyone has their weapon of choice, and it's not even always the best, right?
Another one.
It's just something you get used to. So you're just jumping in there, right?
I mean, Ortur makes a good 20 watt. Adam Sack makes a good one. Longer B1. The X-Tool S1, if you want to really lay out some cash. The X-Tool D1 Pro. There's probably the Atzer, although their customer service is horrible.
Yeah.
But Atzer makes a good laser.
Also there. I'm actually going to do a draw for a free Acmer laser on my channel in a couple of weeks. So
nice. There you guys go. Says the Lightburn is the Excel of spreadsheets.
Yeah, I'll kind of agree with that.
You know, the one thing that I was always struggling with Lightburn, and what made to me a lot easier to use is using two monitors. And I literally took the tabs off of Lightburn and just dragged them on a complete different monitor. So my screen is only the grid. Yeah. And I'm like, man, why didn't I do this a long time ago? Because it's too much crap, all over.
Something else you can do with Lightburn is you can run more than one laser at a time.
Yeah.
And you can have several instances of Lightburn open at once. I've actually done as many as 4 lasers with 4 separate instances of Lightburn open on this particular laptop I'm using right now. Of course, this is a gaming laptop, but it's got a lot of power to it. But it does it. It just gets confusing as hell when you got 4 lasers running, and they're all on one computer. So I try not to do that, but I can. I usually don't do more than 2 at a time now.
Yeah, I have 4 monitors. I thought about doing that and just opening, Lightburn. Steve, this question's for you. Don't you think the customer service over at Riley Automation is good?
So, short answer is I don't know. What I do know about Riley Automation is their customer support is done by the founder, and they've become a bit successful, and I kind of wonder how long that's going to be sustainable. So it's probably better than average now because the guy who's answering your questions owns the company. So he's incented to actually help you. But I think at some point in probably the not too distant future, he's going to have to hire a support team. And that's when things go bad, I think.
Jim said, sorry, $1,400 turnkey for the 20 watt laser. Yeah, I don't know. I think we might have to publish some options. Yeah, I think you're going to have a lot available. You're going to have, that's a run-of-the-mill entry level, right? They're all going to be relatively around that price. I think that's a good price to start at. But when they start getting you with all these extra parts is the extended rails, right? Enclosures.
Rotary, honeycomb, all those things, yeah.
Yeah, and then just keep in mind, too, that when you buy that extended rail, they won't fit. So I've yet to find anyone who buys a manufacturer's pre-made enclosure and it fits, even though when they say it fits, everyone always complains. But then the benefit of having an enclosure is it's fireproof versus you building an enclosure that's a fireplace. I mean, I have both, so
I just finished my extension on the Longer Ray 5. I have an 850 millimeter square area in it now. Believe me, that's not going to have an enclosure. There's a baseboard on that's 42 inches by 46 inches.
Glitter fart. Oh, man, what the heck? I love that Lightburn lets you use it after the key expires, even after switching machines. I didn't think it would work.
Oh, it does. Once you purchase a key, if you don't renew it, it still keeps working.
Oh, yeah. So I recently got an error message. I had to upgrade Lightburn because I have a fiber laser, so I had to pay $90, I think.
Yeah, the fire,
Right.
the Galvo license is a little more money.
Yeah.
So I paid $90 to upgrade, and then like 5 days later, I got a message that says I'm expired for upgrades for updates. I'm like, really? I just paid you another $90, and I'm not eligible for updates. I'm like, all right, whatever. But I might email them just see what they say.
Yeah, that could just be a licensing bug.
Yeah, maybe you answered this, but I didn't hear it. I bought a. I'm gonna butcher this. How do you say it? Shapico? How do you say that?
Poco.
Shapico. Used for a great deal. What's your thoughts about adding a laser to it?
I'm trying to think what controller the Shapeoko uses. I don't know if it has a laser output or not, a pulse width modulation. I've been actually thinking, I got so many laser modules kicking around, and the Masso controller supports a laser. I've been thinking of just integrating an existing laser module into it, kind of hack it and see. But I've thought about doing a laser on mine, but the problem is when I think about that, I've already got a dozen lasers. Why would I care whether my CNC can do it? When you have a hammer, don't use it for a wrench, or a wrench for a hammer, so I don't know. I'm kind of a fan of one tool for one job.
Well, I'm the same way. A CNC is a CNC, and a laser is a laser, and a 3D printer is a 3D printer. I see people put laser heads on 3D printers. Why? They try to use a 3D printer as a die cutter. I got a Cricut Maker sitting right next to me. It is a die cutter. Buy the right tool for the right job. That's kind of my opinion anyway.
I think the reason people start doing that is, to be honest, their limited budget, right? So they purchase something, and it's cheaper, maybe not more efficient, maybe not the best, but they think their mentality is a couple $100 and I have both. But sometimes you get a multi-tool. Wherever I've experienced, you have a multi-tool. It's never the best of either one, right? You can buy the best router, the best table saw, the best something. And when it's a multi-tool, it's never the best of either. It's kind of like, it's not the best of both worlds. It just gets you by.
Well, back when I was a teenager, my best friend bought I think they call it a shopsmith. So you've got the table saw, and you've got a drill press, you've got a lathe, you've got all these different things. And you got to take one thing apart to put something back together. And it wasn't he wished he never bought it. I don't know if they still make those anymore or not.
Yeah, they're saying best thing to do is go to these guys' channels and watch our laser reviews before to buy. Yeah, between the three of us and soon Daniel, there's definitely a lot of different laser videos you can watch and get an opinion on what you want to buy.
Don't count me in for the lasers yet. I'm new to this. Once I get it figured out, maybe.
D1 has good deals on eBay, 10 watts, $99. Okay, so I just want to say this, and this is my personal opinion. You guys can vouch in with this or not. I would not buy a laser that's under 35 watts. And the reason I'm saying that is that unless you're using it as a toy.
So I have a question about the lasers. What do you use them for? For engraving or for like literally cutting?
I do both.
Both.
Yeah, both.
Okay. I'm going to be in y'all's email like y'all ain't never seen.
Yeah, both.
In fact, a lot of the cutting I do on, thin materials, I say up to maybe 3/4 at the most. I used to do it with a scroll saw. And I'm good on a scroll saw, but the laser is a lot faster and there's a lot less work.
Yeah.
And the one thing I learned too is that I buy these. Let me grab it.
Yeah, I used to. I still have a scroll saw. It's sitting under my counter over there because what's it good for now? Right, I can cut anything that it can cut on a laser.
I have this masking tape, and I have even one taller. And so when you want to cut something out, I put this over the wood, and then when I cut all the way through, it helps not get burn marks, especially when you're cutting all the way through. That's been my little cheat. That's helped me a lot. But yeah, at the end of the day, people are making these videos and they're like, "Look, it's cutting a 2x4." Dude,
Yeah.
If you're buying a laser to cut a 2x4, you're an idiot. You go buy it soft. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you just want to prove the point that it's powerful, I get it. But the flip side of that coin is the more powerful the laser is, the wider that beam's going to be, right? So there is something to say a lot of these manufacturers now, they're doing that 48 watt / 20 watt. And it's because of 20 watts, it's going to be like a finer pin, right? To be able to get finer details. So it really just depends on what you're using it for. But I would say anything under a 20 watt laser to be like in a production environment or like used as a business, I don't think it's really.
So he said he was going to send a 10 watt instead of the 20 because I've never used one. Should I just say, hell with that? Give me the 20?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And 20 is a good midpoint. You get into the 5 and 10 watt ones and you're really limited. And when you get up into the 40 watt, they're basically just for cutting. And something else people should keep in mind, you know, they say it'll cut 3/4 or 1 inch wood. Yes, it will. But if you look at that cut, it's going to have a moon shape to it like this. Because as the beam goes down, it starts to change focus as it makes that cut. And the beam actually gets wider. So you do not have a straight cut when you get into thick material.
Right, but we're going to get to the same point, like you said, cutting wood, right? Thick wood with the table saw. You don't have to cut it all the way through at once. You can make more than one pass.
Right.
You don't have to set it at 100 and catch the damn thing on fire.
It does seem so. I think the sweet spot is either a good 20 watt or 30 watt laser, somewhere in there. 40 watts, yeah. I got 3 of them hanging on the wall over here, and they're really, like Roger says, they're really only good for cutting things, and they're good at cutting, but the cut is no good. Let's say it that way.
Yeah.
You know, at the end, it looks like something you'd throw in a barbecue.
Will it run off my 110 or do I need 220?
No,
That's 110.
they're all
Okay.
one.
Yeah, they're so the LEDs that are in them are the LEDs they used to put in DVD players
I got you.
back in the good old days.
That's
Now,
what I'm
so the reason, Rick, I would say a 20 watt is okay. If you look at something like the Algo Laser Delta, which is one of the reasons I like
Elgo,
it.
that's who it is. Oh, sorry.
So you're probably talking to Gil then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a long conversation with him.
So we all deal with the same person from Algo.
Yeah, well, he runs all of the support groups and stuff, right? I had about a 3-hour conversation with him a few weeks ago, and we kind of straightened out a few perceptions. He's a very smart guy, but he works for a company that is, I'd say, less smart than he is. But they're coming along, and I like their laser. And the reason I like it is because it's a 24 watt laser, but it cuts like a 30+ watt laser. Because they stack the diodes differently. So if you look at their laser at 24 watts, it's almost square, which most other lasers have some crazy oblong or
Yeah, it's rectangle usually.
yeah. So, and theirs has dynamic. So that characteristic that you're seeing now, where there's a 40 watt laser and you can turn half the diodes off and make it a 20 watt laser, they do that automatically. So if you're running lower power, they automatically switch off the high end. So the beam automatically gets smaller as you go with lower power. It does make it very hard to calculate kerf, but when you're engraving, it will always engrave with a smaller beam spot than when you're cutting, which is kind of cool. I really like that. And the way they stack their lasers is different, so you get a almost square beam.
Yeah,
Well, I got to throw something in here. This comment here about a 55 watt. That's your input. That's not your output. And I hate it that laser companies do that. It is so deceiving.
Yes.
I was wondering. I was like 55 watt. Jesus.
I was waiting for Steve to finish.
Well, so be careful with that comment, Roger, because there is IKEA has a 48 watt laser. But there is somebody who announced a 50 watt plus laser not that long ago, and I can't remember who it was. I can only imagine that the diode module is about that big around, and
it's got to be horrible.
The size of your thumb.
Yeah, I have the IKEA K1 Ultra Pro, the big Mama Jama one.
Yeah, 48 watt.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, they're sending me one. It's en route somewhere, but
so is it Elego? Elego?
Algo laser.
Algo, ALGO. Yep, I've got one.
Okay, making sure.
I've got one in a box right over there. I have to pull it out soon because I have a project to do. But I've had lots of conversations with manufacturers, and the two things, getting back to the cutting, that I said two things you got to stop doing. Stop telling people they can cut 2x4s with these things, because technically you can get 2 pieces of wood, but they're both garbage. And stop telling people that you can cut color on stainless steel.
Yeah.
Because again, you can, but if you, even on the same sheet of stainless steel, if you engrave something over here, it'll be green. And if you engrave it over here at the same settings, it'll be purple or blue or something. And it's like, yeah, you can do color, but you can't predict it. You have no control over it. So, I have noticed that they've stopped really pushing those, I can cut 300 millimeter thick wood, right? Like it's just such a dumb thing to say.
Well,
I'm gonna be making some combs and bearded Viking combs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you should be able to do those easy. You should be able to do those easy.
So that's really why I said yes to this laser, because somebody mentioned it in a comment. You should do a bearded Viking comb, and I was like, that's actually a good idea. Sell some merch.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so you're gonna get you'll be restricted on the precision. Like you're not going to be able to make a comb that you can comb your hair with, unless it's one of those pick things, right?
Yeah.
Because the material gets too thin and brittle, and you would just break. But yeah, you could certainly make something coarse. I'm imagining a comb for a beard like yours is probably more akin to a rake.
Yep, you about right.
Is there a way to spray on the honeycomb bed that stops the charred smoke from sticking to the bed? I have OCD and want to prevent it. No, but you can clean it with brake cleaner.
To me, I don't care. It just my honeycomb boards are now black, so I don't care.
Mine did the same thing.
Mine's the same. It's that period of unrest where you can still see metal.
Yeah.
Eventually, it'll all turn black.
Yeah.
I call it seasoning.
There you go. You get that brand new tool and you want to keep it shiny, and you blow it off every time you use it and clean it, and then about a month later you skip one time, you skip the second time, and then you get spots and scratches, and it hurts your feelings.
You've been looking at my hammer handles, haven't you?
Yep.
Acker's going to release a 70-watt output. I don't know. I haven't heard that from them.
Yeah, I would just say why. I've heard it too, but it's why.
I just can't imagine that it would be effective. 40 watt really is pushing the limit.
So one thing I do want to say is that Iker and Atom Stack are the same company.
Yes.
So people are thinking like
IKEA.
Yeah. Like even when I posted on the Atom Stack Facebook group, Iker, they're like, they banned me. And I was like, bro, like, I know you created this group, but you realize it's the same company. And they unbanned me. He's like, really? I didn't know. I hate autocorrect. Iker, IKEA.
Yeah, there's a lot of these companies are just names, right? There's a lot of Aether and somebody else are virtually the same company too. It might
Craftsman, DeWalt.
Which is always a tough question when somebody says, "Hey, is this laser better than that laser?" Well, they're probably made in the same company, right? So,
it's like Artur or Ferro. It's the same place.
Yeah, well, so I don't know if Artur is still in business now, because I think they might be just selling stock, because Algo Laser is built by all the people that were at Artur.
Artur just offered me to demonstrate their new, what is it, H10. I'm not real interested in it. It's only 10 watt, but.
So I got one of their lasers and it didn't work. It wouldn't move. Now you had to search YouTube up and down to find out some code. I had to actually write it because they had like the brakes on, literally. There's like I guess you can do like when during shipping, for whatever reason, they could like literally make it like not move, so it wouldn't move. Like it was like something wasn't put together, like it won't move. And I'm like, what is this? No, searching and searching. And I found someone on YouTube, and it was like $, something. I don't remember. Put that in there and it releases it. Woo! Worked like nothing. And I was like, why would you ship it like that? Like that, Yeah. So I don't. I haven't done the review. It's been sitting to the left of.
There's another one. Comgrow is now Soval. I like my Comgrow fiber laser. It's small, but I like it.
Do you guys have any interesting products you're looking forward to? Do you guys have any interesting projects you're looking forward to in the distant future? Those Viking combs sound awesome.
Projects. I'm actually going to make a fume extractor. Everybody complains about the cost of them, and they are quite expensive. So I'm currently designing one that uses auto filters for. The filters out of a Tesla Model 3 are essentially a whole stack of filter, right? Like it's got the HEPA filter and charcoal at the bottom. So I'm working on a project to make one of those, and I should be able to make it for like $100. Like it's going to be really cheap.
So I bought some used from Sunbelt Rental. It's like a commercial renter company. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them.
Yeah.
But they have like during COVID, they bought like excessive amounts of like hospital rated air cleaners, purifiers. And COVID's, calming down now, so they have obviously a surplus. So I got them next to nothing. I actually bought 3 of them. So because I think when you're doing wood, it's not that big of a deal, but when you start doing acrylics and things like that, those can be pretty damn toxic, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So my tools have earned their how do you say it?
Patina.
You got to see my electrical tools from when I worked in the trade.
Oh yeah.
They really got a patina to
Do
them.
you guys have any products that you've made that you can show?
Oh, geez.
Golly.
Other than my little 3D printed blocks, I don't have anything closer.
I got my wall of shame birdhouses. I think they turned out great, but no.
Yes, I do.
If you were here last week, I showed my Dungeons and Dragons player boxes. I made
that was cool shit. I want one of those.
Do you?
Oh yeah, I do a lot of show and tell when I go live.
Yeah,
just solo dolo, but
yeah, I think the best thing to do is probably speak for all of us is check our Instagram pages.
There you go.
There's a laser engraved ceramic wall tile.
Oh, super! That's nice.
And I did that one. Did that one as a demonstration to show how accurate a laser was. And I did not write the laser on the back of it, so I don't remember which one it was.
Speedy.
I usually write on the back.
And certainly chess pieces, I've made those.
So I've got some chess pieces I made on the table saw.
Brute force chess pieces. These are the Norse ones, right? Then the Scandinavian chess pieces.
Yeah.
Roger, you should like this, Roger.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, there you go.
I quit pole climbing back in the 70s.
I climb poles so Mama don't have to. I work the pole so Mama don't have to.
That's right.
After that, it was JLGs and bucket trucks.
Yep.
Here, I made this book as well. See if you can see it.
Oh, nice. Stimpy. No, that's not Stimpy, is it?
Is it? It's the brain from Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not Ren and Stimpy.
There you go.
I'm thinking
Chris.
Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, I just decided one day that I should be able to bind a book. So I made notebooks for myself.
A yard is something smaller than a furlong. Is that Canadian humor?
I would believe that. I don't know.
Speaking of notebooks, everybody should have one of them.
Isn't that
all my
Monty
settings?
Python?
All my settings for everything is in this book.
Oh yeah, I do that too. I actually handwrite.
So I have this thing called Notepad on my computer where I put all that stuff.
Well, I used to use sticky notes on the computer or whatever they call that. You stick all the yellow notes all over your screen, and pretty soon I just got tired of it and deleted them. The reference book is easy. I have it on a spreadsheet too.
Yeah,
Well,
I just same thing. I'm guilty of it. Look, here it is.
Yeah, I think we all have those.
Yeah, but I made it screenshot. Because when I was doing the challenge coins, once you get your settings dialed in, you're like, no, want to make sure I got everything right. I don't screw something up. You know, I think wood is like you screw it up, big deal. Well, not really. It could be expensive, but metal blanks are not always that cheap.
I had one comment from a viewer with all the supposed witchcraft I have in my notebook. I should call it a book of shadows. For anybody that's ever watched any of those, like Charmed or any of the witchcraft movies.
Yeah, Chris said the boxes are beautiful, Daniel.
Thank you, Chris. How about the bowl on a table saw?
Yeah, I saw that video when you making that. That was pretty wild.
Pretty crazy. Ain't it?
Wow, that seems to be the kind of thing that could easily get thrown back at you on a table saw.
Not if you build the jig right. It's all about the jig setup.
I'm telling you, when I made one of his designs and I did a 1 inch by 1 inch square and did a 30-inch cut on all sides, it was like.
See, the one thing you'll appreciate, Daniel, about lasers is they never ever throw things back at you. They can blind you, but they won't throw anything at you.
Roger,
reflex is sharp.
It says Roger used Cermac spray.
No, I don't. This was done with Rust-Oleum white paint, white matte paint. Put on there, laser engraved it. Took acetone, took it right off. Yeah, ceramic tile. There's the backside.
Yeah, see, that's something cool you could do, Daniel. The tile and then do an inlay in your wood.
Yeah,
that's pretty dope.
So, Daniel, you'll appreciate lasers for doing things like marquetry, inlay kind of stuff, because once you know the depth that something will cut in a particular material, you can say, I need a 2 millimeter slot to put something in, and then you can go cut the thing you're going to put in there, and it will fit like a glove.
Yeah, that's what I need. Hell yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I did an inlay thing. Well, I did a video actually probably 2 years ago now, and I showed something I did to a guy who does inlay all the time, and he's like idiotically by hand with the X-Acto knife kind of thing, and he looked at it and said, "I can't do that."
Wow.
And he's been doing this stuff for like 50 years.
Yeah, that's funny.
I felt kind of bad, but at the same time I felt good because that meant I was as good as him because I had that tool, not because I had any particular skill.
Yeah.
So Hand Noggin said paper won't fail. So basically, if you made all your notes on a computer and you don't have a paper copy, you'd probably be crying if you lost, years of.
Clear had enough. Okay, clearly doesn't have a lighter. Paper fails all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they'll burn their. They won't be pale. Okay. Just realized you're all on. Hello from Montana. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, every Friday, 7:30 Eastern time.
6:30 Central time.
8:30 Atlantic time.
There you go. Round table discussion. Great live, guys. Very informative. Sub to each one of you. I'll catch the rest of you later. Have a great weekend. Hey, Kate. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yes, the paint does come off easily. I've done a video on how to remove it. When I do them in mass, I'm making coasters. I use acetone, and it comes off quick. And
plus, you get a little buzz, right?
Well, I do it with in ventilation. Yeah, I've had that solvent buzz before, and it's great while it lasts. But boy, when it wears off, you got a headache you won't forget.
Yeah. You know what? Everyone always says you should wear gloves because doing that all the time, your body does actually, ingest it into your blood. I've always just done it, those kind of things, just with my hands. I've never.
Don't do that. So early in my career, I worked in chemical dye lasers, and we used to use DMSO, dimethyl sulfoxide, which is a solvent. Oh. And you put a dye in it, a chemical dye, and you read the little label on the bottle of the chemical dye, and it says the characteristics of this to the human anatomy are unknown. And DMSO has such a small molecule that if you get it on your hand, it goes immediately into your bloodstream. So you get this garlicky taste. It's not pleasant because you think, okay, not only do I taste that stuff, which is probably toxic, I'm tasting the dye too. So it's not cool.
I used to encapsulate crawl spaces years back, and we would do mold remediations, and we used this product called Serum 1000, and it was basically 99% peroxide. And if that touched you anywhere on your body, your skin would literally crumble and like get rock hard, and the weirdest feeling in the world. I don't mess with chemicals.
So you weren't going to the bathroom right after you're working, is what you're saying.
Pretty much. Yeah. Was not.
You wash your hands beforehand.
I watched a George Lopez stand up one day, and he says, everyone, they're going to the bathroom and then they wash their hands afterwards. He says, I wash my hands before I go to the bathroom. I know where that's been. I don't know where the hell I've been touching before I went there. That kind of stuff about their life. That's kind of true.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if you've been cutting and seeding chili peppers, you'll definitely want to wash your hands first.
I've been there.
That.
I've been there.
I have 2 diodes, 40 watt CO2, and just got a 100 watt MOPA. In addition to a 1500 by 1500 router. Thanks for helping me with projects.
He's ready to go.
Man, sounds like you if you ain't making money, your wife's gonna be yelling soon.
Yeah.
Or you're making a hell of a lot of money. You just got some badass boys.
Yeah, at some point you have to stop saying it's a hobby.
Yeah.
Right.
Now it's a job.
Well, for me, it started out as a hobby. It's not a hobby anymore. It's an actual job.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so definitely do test grids and engrave power tests on the materials you're going to play with. Agreed.
Yeah, I point that out in almost every one of my videos. Run a grid test on your own laser, on your own material, because what I've done here, it's not going to be exactly the same as what you're going to get.
The one thing I think is so messed up is there's so many people that sell grid tests and they don't realize you can just trade it for free in Lightburn. Like literally, it's
Well, I give away, the layout grids for laser bed, and once you get I give them away. It's on our website. You can go down and download them for free, or you can go to Etsy and buy it. But I don't sell them on Etsy. I just give them away.
Yeah,
they're not hard to make. I mean, it takes me maybe 10 minutes in CAD to make a complete grid, so it's no big deal.
Yeah, tools are definitely an addiction. It's like crack. First hit's free.
Yeah, one thing's for sure: if you buy a laser or a 3D printer and probably just about any wood tool, it's probably not your last one.
Yeah. I was a lineman, and my wife would get so mad because I'd buy 2 drills, 2 impacts, 2. She's like, "Why do you need 2?" I says, "Hey man, if these things go dead, well, I'm not supposed to be able to do my job. Like, I need 2.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous." I'm like, "Hey."
Next question there about using titanium dioxide with water on ceramic to get a black engrave. Yes, it does work. However, it is very hard to get that spray on there evenly without it beating up because it's water based. If you add a little bit of dish soap to it, and of course I'm spraying with a spray gun, it will you'll get a pretty decent finish, but it'll bubble easy if you don't go lightly at first.
Yeah, don't use water, use alcohol. Because for one thing, it'll dry about 10 times faster.
I haven't tried it with alcohol. I usually drink that. Oh, you're talking rubbing alcohol, aren't you?
IPA, yeah, don't drink that.
Well, now when you say IPA, that's India Pale Ale. That's a beer.
I grant you that, but I'm talking about isopropyl alcohol.
Yeah, I know where you're going there.
So Trent, our addiction, man, with all the tools that every man dreamt of, now has a 3D printer. So
hot damn.
Jeez, I got about 6 of those.
I don't have one.
I'll trade you one of those for that 100-watt MOPA Galvo.
I have 14 3D printers.
That's nuts. That is nuts.
My wife came into my office the other day, not in my workshop, but I have all my 3D printers in my office, and she said she saw that new K1 sitting on my desk, and she said, "What is that thing? It looks like a bar fridge." I said, "No, it's a 3D printer." "Oh, you've got a 3D printer in here?" I said, "There are 6 of them in here." And there's 3 more in storage. And actually, I've got 2 of them sitting on the floor over here.
Well, my wife was up in the loft here this week, and she rarely ever comes up here. And she looked around and she says, "How do you even move up here?" Because I've got I have little walkways between 3D printers and heat presses and all that stuff. I just make it work.
Yeah, I had my basement was a man cave. You know, air hockey table, pool table, darts, neon signs, blah blah blah, fish, saltwater fish tank, kids, and that shit went away. And then I started just doing the woodworking stuff, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah,
Cool.
most of my money goes to my daughter.
Yeah, it looks like someone's gonna give that a shot with your guys' comments with the soap and the alcohol.
Yeah. I did a video on using alcohol. The real challenge, and Roger kind of alluded to it, is titanium dioxide doesn't actually dissolve in anything. So you're just using the alcohol as a carrier, and you need a really good sprayer for this because it'll plug up instantly if you don't have one. But I don't know. I like the results. For one thing, the results are about the same. I mean, I did this one, and it's kind of comparable to what Roger did with the paint. But the cleanup is a breeze with these. It's water, right? You just wash it with water.
Well, when I spray the titanium dioxide, of course I mix with water and dish soap after the alcohol. I use a spray gun with a 1.8 nozzle on it.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll plug up quick. It's like trying to spray metal flake on a car. You got a big nozzle on there.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to go to an auto supply place and get a power, like a compressor sprayer. Like a
little Wagner airless isn't going to do it. You need
Sounds like a Harbor Freight deal. You buy it for $20, you use it a couple times, and craps out, and you're going to buy another. You don't have Harbor Freight by you, do you, Steve?
Sorry?
Harbor Freight?
We've
got equivalents here.
We've got one close to us. Of course, we call it Harbor Freight.
Yeah, our comparison to that is probably, there's a company, they have local stores called Princess Auto. They kind of have everything, and a lot of the things that are marked as Harbor Freight are there's the exact same unit here called something else.
Nice.
And
we should call you guys hoarders.
Well.
My wife calls me a hoarder all the time.
We talk to our wives.
My wife calls me worse things than that sometimes.
Yeah, right.
I always say my wife hates me, so we're good. I'm a retired diesel mechanic, and I have sprayers. There you go.
There you go. Pick the one with the biggest nozzle and fill it with alcohol and titanium dioxide and spray some tile.
So it's 8:23. What time did we want to decide to pick the?
Let's do it now because I'm running out of steam.
Do it now because it's 10:23 for me, and I'm about to turn into a pumpkin.
Okay, so do we want to give it? Do we want to do 2 minutes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So we're officially going to be doing the giveaway. We're going to randomly choose or select someone in the comments below. Daniel is blessing us with this to give away to one of our subscribers. So again, write in the comments below where you're from, how you found us. Remember, the more comments, the more options, the more opportunities you have to win. So go ahead and write some comments in there. We're going to start this at 2 minutes. And at 2 minutes, we will choose a random person. So run it up. There's 47 people right now in this, 49 people in this live, 51 people in this live. So go ahead for the giveaway if you want a beautifully made, handmade, crafted jewelry box from Daniel from Vikings Woodworking. Go ahead and write something in the comments below. Let us know where you're from. Let us know how you found us. Whether you're watching us on YouTube, whether you're watching us on Facebook, and then also let us know whose channel are you originally a subscriber to. Oh, come on.
And while you're waiting for that, I'll answer this question. Yes, I've used vinegar and steel wool. It's called ebonizing. This actually is a piece of maple, and I used vinegar and steel wool on this. Normally, I would make them. This is the discount chest set. Normally, I would make it out of walnut or something. Or if somebody's got lots of money, I would make it out of ebony. But
that's a lot.
The vinegar and steel wool combination is also good to give tin a patina look and make it look old. if you're doing a craft that has fresh tin on it.
It'll
You
Run
can't use galvanized, but
Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I see them pouring in. Guys.
To do maple to get it actually reasonably dark, I soaked it in black tea for a while first, couple times, and then it gets enough tannin in it that you can actually use the ebonizing vinegar and steel wool.
This is a beautiful box. No shame in your game to write comments over and over. Let's just say to make them valid. Love the channel. Give us some comments. Give us some feedback. Run it up. Run the comments up, guys. Come on. We're getting down to the wire.
It was almost a box in 2 pieces.
Boom. 2 minutes. I chose it last time. Steve, you want to scroll and you want to grab someone random? You have admin, right? You want to be the.
You're gonna put the pressure on me. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's my eyes closed, and it's this one. If show up, yes.
Okay, I'll be checking those videos out. I know she had mentioned earlier that she was getting ready to come off. I don't know if she's still on here. Kate, are you still on here?
I know who Kat is.
Come on, Kate. Are you on here? It's a beautiful box. Otherwise, we'll be choosing a second person.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Kat's gonna be disappointed.
I would be disappointed. I'm disappointed that I'm not eligible.
Hey, guys and girls, ladies, gentlemen, if go ahead and comment away, because again, if she doesn't comment, we're gonna give her a minute. Then we'll be scrolling onto our next person. So come on, if she's in here. Otherwise, we're up to the second person. Cat's piece. Cat's piece. Come on, Cat. Where you at? I could have sworn I remember her comment something about bye. She was jumping off. So let's see. Keep the comments coming, guys. You're gonna make your opportunity to be able to win this. So 40 seconds to go. Here we go. 30 seconds. Someone call her up. Hey, that's an easy way. That's why I asked for a number. I was trying to let you know you won something. All right, here we go. We got 15 seconds, guys. Come on. Leave the comments. Leave the comments. Let us know. Let us know where you're from, how you joined us. Have you been enjoying this? Anything you'd like us to talk about in a future video? Comments coming.
I'm itching to pick another name. Shall I pick another name?
Pick another name.
Celia Moyer.
Ooh, she was commenting quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
Celia, are you there? Come on, comments make a comment. Let us know you're still here.
That was 2 minutes ago. She's got to still be here.
Yeah, we got 52 people in here. Oh, running out of stuff to say. Here you go.
She's still there. She just posted seconds ago.
Yes, so here you
Stop
go.
saying it and just answer.
Yeah, so she did say 828, running out of stuff to say. She's here.
Yeah.
All right, here you go. Let me find her. Where you go? Running out of stuff to say. Here you go. Hey, I'm going to post up my email address. I want you to please do send me an email. Let's see here. Send me an email at rick.ramirez@ricks2cents.com, rick.ramirez@ricks2cents.com, and I will hook you up with Daniel and get that sent out to you. Congratulations on winning that. A very beautiful piece. Unfortunately, it looks like Daniel dropped off. He's on his cell phone right now. So
he's kind of ghostly.
Bam, you're back. Hey, we got a winner. Winner chicken dinner.
Celia?
So I did.
There you go. She's here.
I posted up my email address so that she can send us an email. And she is in the comments. So congratulations on winning that. That was an awesome, beautiful gift. You want to show that one more time so everyone sees what you're giving away? Man, see, guys, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Congratulations. All right, thank you guys all. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you guys' time for the comments. We're doing this every Friday, 6:30 Central Time, and we're all coming from different areas here, but thank you and appreciate everyone for joining us. And we'll be doing those giveaways. If no one else has anything for next week, I already have something in mind that I'll be giving away as well. But we'll save that for next week. So bye for me. Thank you for joining. You guys want to say goodbye or anything you'd like to close out with? Feel free to jump in there.
Skull.
Well, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate this and for coming in. It looks like our audience continues to grow, so be back next week. Thanks again, everyone. Appreciate you.